It's early in the morning, and Delaney Collins is where she loves to be, out on the ice. But she's out here not as a player anymore, but as a coach, after suffering a concussion that kept her out of the Vancouver Olympics and ended her hockey career. It happened during an exhibition game. She got clipped by another player's skate and went headfirst into the boards.
I said I was fine, and I was sitting on the bench and my ears were screaming, and I thought someone pulled the fire alarm, and I wasn't fully sure where I was, but I somehow finished the game.
She tried to hide her symptoms, playing through the headaches and the nausea, and then she got hit again.
I had no idea. I knew I hit my head extremely hard, but I didn't realize that if you were to fight through post-concussion symptoms, that you're risking everything and you're simply going to make it worse.
Ready? Go!
If you play sports, you risk a concussion. But are you more at risk if you're a girl? It's a question that this sports researcher is now asking after tracking the rates of concussions between boys and girls in high school sports.
Girls have higher rates of concussions, and concussions represent a greater proportion of all of the injuries that they sustain.
Were you surprised when you saw that?
You know, we were a little bit surprised, and more importantly, we were curious about why.
One theory, the physical difference between boys and girls.
We're trying to look at all these variables: head circumference, neck circumference, length of the neck, and strength of the neck, to see if there's any correlation between any of those variables and the incidence of concussion in various sports.
To find out, they're measuring up boys and girls teams in sports like basketball and soccer and tracking the concussions.
1, 2, 3.
Perhaps girls are more likely to report symptoms of a concussion when they sustain an injury, whereas boys maybe feel that pressure to be a little more macho and get back out there and play, even if they're feeling the symptoms of concussion.
Doug Stacey specializes in injuries in women as a physiotherapist for the national women's hockey team.
My big theory is that it's structural. And as a physio, I'm always looking at structure. And being around the sport for so long and seeing girls come out with concussions because they bounced off of somebody and fell down to the ground versus no head hit whatsoever, it makes you think, okay, well, what exactly is going on?
His theory, it's in the neck.
There's a big difference between men and women in terms of their ability to control their neck and their head. In general, men have much bigger muscle mass around their head and neck than women do. They certainly have bigger girth around the neck, which then leads to greater strength, so that they were almost 50% stronger with regards to isometric.
Delaney Collins is also betting there's a difference in the neck muscles between boys and girls.
I would think that's absolutely true. Yeah, with less neck strength, then there's more opportunity that girls are going to get knocked around and there'd be a whiplash effect. I think that was a huge part of the reason why I was out for so long.
Delaney Collins is still haunted by her injury. When she's on the ice with her team, she holds back. She's careful not to get bumped. And watching her struggle with the legacy of a concussion has influenced the women she's coaching on this U.S. college team.
It makes me think if I get a bump on the head or whatever, that, I need to report it to my trainer or let somebody know, because you don't want to be, in that situation where it could end your career later on.
The research on women and concussions is just getting started, but it's a critical question as more and more girls jump on the ice. Kelly Crowe, CBC News, Erie, Pennsylvania.